Okay, planning curriculum looks so different now than when I was planning for my oldest as he was entering the middle school, high school years. Today I'm going to talk about my youngest who is in that stage. He's entering the middle school and then high school years. And I'm going to be brainstorming a little bit about curriculum today for my uprising 7th grader and how it looks different. I do have one more boy. He's in 11th grade and will be going into his senior year next school year. I may talk about him in a future video. Welcome to my channel, Learning with Boys. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys. I have graduated to this school year, at this moment. I have a 6th grader and an 11th grader, and we are on our 15th year of homeschooling, and really quite in a bit of a different season than we were even 5 years ago. It just looks so different. That is sort of my thoughts I want to share with you as I brainstorm through curriculum, share with you some thoughts that I have as I am trying. I'm still making decisions for next year for my uprising 7th grader. I have recently done some videos on curriculum recommendations for you all for early elementary, upper elementary, middle school, and high school. I plan on doing another one for electives, but I'm taking a little break and doing some planning and thinking. I think all of this curriculum research has led me to start thinking about next school year. So as I'm brainstorming through this, I have opportunities to look at different things, and I will share that with you because that's sort of some decisions I have to make. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I just want to share with you my thoughts. Now, I only have one, but I still have my older guys and they're all at home. And the season is still busy, just a different kind of busy. So I need to set, and I think no matter what stage you're in of homeschooling, it is so important to set realistic expectations, because I know I can think of all these things that I want to fit in and I feel like are all important, but I feel like I always end up disappointed in myself because I couldn't get it all done. I couldn't accomplish it all. And I'm even at that point, even with my last one, that I have to think and plan ahead and think about those things because I will have a senior next year. I want to be able to be flexible with his schedule, his needs. I have one that's still in college. I'll have one still in college next year, and different activities that will arise that our family may be more involved in now than we were when our boys were younger. So it's going to look different for every family, and you have to really debate how much time am I going to have to invest? How much running around am I going to have to do? And when my boys were younger, we weren't involved in a lot. We didn't have a lot of running around to do. I feel like that part of our life is a little bit busier now than it was when I had everybody home, believe it or not. So just with different opportunities the Lord has put in our family's life. So like I said, it's going to look different for each family. But I am going to tell you the curriculum that I am thinking through for my rising 7th grader and some things that I want to look a little bit further into. Now, I'm going to start with language arts because if you've watched any of my videos, you have heard me say that we love IEW. My son, my 6th grader now, is using Fix-It. We actually started that, I don't know, about halfway through last semester. And we are doing one of the themed books. This is his first year doing any IEW. And that is great. I am fine with that, even in 6th grade. We did a lot of narration early on, written narration. So in my mind, I was thinking, well, I'll probably just do that and maybe do level B the first year for the writing next year. But then I had the opportunity to look through master books. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so master books is letting me look at to give a review of the language lessons for living education 7. what I am seeing, it almost reminds me a little bit, maybe a little bit, because I haven't looked at it real good. I want to look at it more, but it reminds me a little bit of the learning language arts through literature that I have mentioned. This would be more of a Christian worldview curriculum, which I like. It gives you different things from the Bible that you're looking through and talking about. So I like that about it. And it would be just one of those breaks of something different. Now, if I consider this, I think I'll continue with Fix It because it's only 4 days a week. It's only a sentence or two, unless I feel like it's too much, because I really would at least like him to finish the book that he's doing. And I don't think it'll be done by the end of the year. And just to keep that going, because more than likely, I think I would go back to IEW and do level B or something like that. So, just giving you my thoughts on what I'm thinking about doing. Now, one thing that I probably won't 100% make my final decisions until after I go to a homeschool convention, which I get to go to this school year, which will be in May, and I'm very excited. And we'll actually, hopefully, be able to hold and look through this book a little bit better and some other things that I would like to take a look at. So, but this is one thing that I would have written down that I want to go find and look at, is this book. So let me know your thoughts on that. Like I said, I have done this with all my boys. We've used IEW. We may take a year's break, do something else, and then come back to it. And it's really not been a problem to do that. And I like that they can get a little bit of a variety of different things. I do love what they learn in IEW, and I will be back to it. So that's if I decide to go with this. I really do want to look at it a little bit more. And I can't say that this curriculum would work for every personality. I just know my 6th grader now that I think he would enjoy this from what I can tell. I've only got through a few chapters so far. That is my thought process on language arts. Okay, for math, I don't see any reason why we would not stay with Matthew C. He is in the middle of Zeta, which is the book right before pre-algebra. So that's sort of how it's been falling for him, is he finishes a book halfway through the year and starts a new one, which is absolutely fine with me because that still puts him on schedule to definitely at least start algebra in 9th grade. And it's working for him. Yes, I have to slow the process down sometimes. Really, right now, he's moving right along. There were some seasons last year and even the year before that I had to take a couple weeks to work on one chapter. So, but right now we're just breezing through. So I don't know, we'll see what happens, but I think we're going to stay with Matthew C. All right, let's talk a little bit about science. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos, we are using Science Shepherd, their earth science, this school year, and he is really, really enjoying it. And so I'm looking at what other options they have. They have a physical science. Now, the only thing about the physical science is that it only goes up to age 12. He will be 12 in a little over a month. So he would be 12 through the next school year, and then towards the end of it would turn 13. Can't believe I just said that. But does that matter? I actually, and to let you know, I will link them below. You can get a few of the free lessons and what the worksheets would look like. And it actually looked like something that would be right at his level for science. So I'm thinking about that. None of these I have like digged in and made a decision. I'm just sharing with you my brainstorming thoughts and ideas. Now, when my oldest would have been entering 7th or 8th grade, I possibly would have combined, especially if I was using Science Shepherd, which I did not know about, but you can combine it with several students. And I want to give you that thought also if you've not looked into them. So, but with him, it's just him. So that is definitely an option. Another science that I had thought about, and this is my mind. This is what I'm talking about. Rachel, you got to be realistic in your expectations. Can he do more than one? Because it does not take a lot of time to do Science Shepherd at this age. Now, once you go into the next level, which would definitely be a middle school level, I think they have a life science, an intro to physical, an intro to chemistry. They also have an astronomy that it's going to probably be a little bit longer. And then you start getting books. I know with life science and biology, you will actually have a book that you will be reading. But right now, if I chose that one, it wouldn't take long. So the reason I'm even considering it is that the other science is more of a hands-on. And I'm looking at it, it is called Exploration Education. And they do have some videos. I don't know the extent of it, like how long would it take? But you do actually build things. Now, this is one of those other curriculums that I know will be at the homeschool convention. So I have passed over it before, but I think I'm going to stop and ask some detailed questions. Like, is it a 4 or 5 day a week? Maybe it's only a few days a week. How long does the actual video part take? And the hands-on, could I spread it out? Can I just buy partial of it? You know, there's all these questions if I wanted to combine it with Science Shepherd. I'm very interested in Science Shepherd. I did watch the physical science videos and they looked like, I just love the way they explain it because I feel like I can understand it. I know he's going to understand it. I know it's going to sink in and help with comprehension in the future when he gets to the harder sciences. That's why I'm leaning that way. Now, when I'm looking at this exploration education science, it is part of the history curriculum that I know we'll use, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I'm not sure how much of it we're going to use. But it's part of the Heart of Dakota, their science. They actually have another part of their science, which is studying about the inventors. So there's just so much to think about that you can do. And I have to narrow it down. I will have to. And I'll have to accept, whatever I pick, I want it to be something he will enjoy. So I probably will look at it with him. He's actually going to go at least one of the days to the convention with me because I know he loves books. I think he's interested. I'm thinking maybe the day I take him, we'll probably only do like a half a day there. Those are just some things I need to think about and see what he's interested in also. Okay, now for the history. We have been using Heart of Dakota curriculum. It is a Charlotte Mason style curriculum with a Christian worldview, but it is a full box curriculum. I think next school year, I'm definitely going to be using it for the history, which is Revival to Revolution. He is finishing up Resurrection to Reformation, like right in the middle of church history. But the one thing I like about Heart of Dakota is you're going to learn all about church history. Even as we enter America, starts with the Great Awakening and things like that. So I'm excited about this. I hope he is too. He does love books, so that is very helpful. And he'll be excited about American history. But with that, because it is a Charlotte Mason style, they have a lot of other extras that go with it. They have a music appreciation study that includes classical music, and it sounds really, really good. And I haven't even looked to see how many days a week that is. It might only be 1 day a week. I'm sort of glancing at the book right now. This is a book a friend is letting me borrow, and I think she'll let me even borrow it next year. I have used all the middle school guides except this one. So this is something that I really have to think about and plan. I'm not familiar with what the music is going to be like. They have a inventor study, which I said is part of the science. They also have a state study. I feel like that is something you'd be interested in. Of course, they have geography, and I'm pretty sure that's like the geography we're using today, which I think is great if you haven't. There's one thing when you're doing geography and you're learning where everything is now, but learning geography through history, yeah, I think that is such a great part of this curriculum is how they do that through the middle school years. Okay, the other one is a signer study about the signers, and I mentioned that earlier. Now this is using a different book. I think it's the one I used before was more like a high school level book that I used for all my boys, and this would be more for like a middle school book. That interests me. I think they have a notebook for the history, and which includes like timeline and written narration and things like that. But I think they have a signer's notebook that is separate. These are just some things that I'm thinking about. Back to the realistic expectations. Do I want to add all these extras in? They also have poetry in here and Bible quiet time, probably some books with that. The memorization for next year will be Hebrews chapter 11. And I actually already mentioned that to him because we're working on some other Bible memory now. So I am going to probably do that. Excited about that. So I feel like talking about this because I am not familiar with all the studies in this particular guide, that I'm very excited, but I know, being realistic, I probably need to narrow it down. And that's going to be hard, and that's something I'm going to really need to go through and look at this book. I'm thankful that I had a friend that was able to let me look at it because it does give me a better overview of what I want to do than just looking at it online. Because I want him definitely to step up the independence next year. He's doing great this year, but especially for the history and the science, I need him to go ahead and step those up and be a little bit independent in his reading and his notebook work and that type of thing. So that is where I'm going with my thoughts on the history part of it with Heart of Dakota. I will link them below if you're interested, and I have videos. He did Creation to Christ, Resurrection to Reformation, and then this would be the next one. And then they have another American one, which is Missions to Modern Marvel. And we have done that one before. Just this is the only middle school guide we have not used. All right, so thought process and how different it is now than then. A lot of the times I would focus on my oldest, and the younger guys would just follow along. I would try to have something a little bit more independent for them. I think when my oldest was in these 7th and 8th grade years, my next one did one of the other Heart of Dakota guides. And one year he just read every book that the guide had. He didn't actually do the guide, but that was just his personality. He struggled a little bit. He just started learning to read late. So he was excited about reading. So one year I just let him read all the books, and the next year we started his own guide. And then the next one did not enjoy reading. So we found smaller things to do, but I've really just focused on the 3 R's, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic, his spelling, of course with Bible. And then I would include everybody in any read aloud I did, whether it be with history or science. So I don't have to worry about all that next year. But again, like I said, I still have older kids. Let me know what mix you are in. Are you dealing with your oldest 1 or 2 and you have several underneath, or are you near the end where you have your last one coming up into middle school and high school? And things are just different because you have adult children now. So I would love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions or questions about any of the curriculum I'm using, like I said, I probably won't make any final decisions, which is hard because usually I'm pretty confident in some things, but I really am excited about the homeschool convention this year. I really would like to look at a couple of things and probably look at some things for the future, like, languages, some hands-on things. My son now is very hands-on. The one that's above him, he didn't really care to build anything, or he didn't have any spark of interest to build something or take it apart. Now he is my piano player, and he's been blessed with that gift. So I am very thankful for that. It's amazing how they are all so different, isn't it? It's so interesting. And guess what, mamas? Along the way, we get to learn all those different things from our different learners. So if you have not subscribed, I would love for you to join us. And if this video was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.